Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. So, here's another reason why we should buy Bitcoin. Because the U.S. economy added $275 billion of debt today. A record. There seems to be a lot of records broken recently. None of them good. And I believe it's only going to get worse. So, let's talk about this, how it relates to Bitcoin, and everything else that's going on in the world of crypto today. All right. Welcome. And look at Bitcoin is actually coming up. Trying to test 28,000 soon, 27.7. So this is absolutely fantastic. We're getting a little bit of movement today. Now, this morning, I covered this. President Biden announces a $9 billion relief for student loans. 125,000 Americans no longer need to pay their student loan back. $9 billion, which seems to be a drop in the bucket if you compare it to the $33 trillion of debt that the U.S. has accumulated. $33 trillion. So what's another $9 billion between friends, right? Where's the money coming from? The money printer? And why? Is this appropriate now when the Fed is trying to battle inflation? A lot of unanswered questions, right? But this is nothing. This is absolutely nothing compared to today when we added $275 billion in debt, and now we're up to $33.44 trillion. We just crossed $33 trillion the other day. Now we're on our way to $34 billion. Again, what's another $275 billion? It's the largest jump in history. We've never added this much debt in a single day in American history. That's how bad it has become. And yet, it's business as usual. Everyone just continues to operate like this is nothing. Okay? You can't ignore this. How can anyone ignore the fact that the debt is jumping up by trillions upon trillions upon trillions every single week now? Okay? Before this happened, we were adding about 30 billion per day. You do the math, that's a lot. That's like $1 trillion per month. It took us a long time to get to $1 trillion before. Now it's taking less than a month. What have we gotten ourselves into? I don't know how anyone could balance anything because it's just irresponsible spending right now. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain any further how we could just add so much debt every single day and just say it's quite okay. I just don't get it. I don't get it, and I don't think none of you guys get it either. And that's why Fed Chair Powell and all the other central bankers, they're scratching their heads because they're pretending that this is not the real reason for inflation. They're pretending that, consumers are spending too much, there's supply chain issues, oil prices are going up. Those are the main factors of inflation. Not that we add trillions more of dollars into circulation. No, it has nothing to do with that. He's not able to talk about that. He can only talk about the other factors, which actually are small causes, not the main cause, not the root cause, right? Anyways, it's just mind-boggling, right? I don't know how you explain this. You can't explain this away. I haven't heard any one economist that has come out and said, well, this is fine. We could do this forever. Let's just accumulate 100 trillion debt and then, 200 trillion. It's okay. This will end well. I haven't heard one person make that argument. Everyone is saying this is all going to collapse in the near future. That's why we need something better, like Bitcoin, okay? That's why we need Bitcoin. And speaking of Bitcoin, there's a lot of good news. Obviously, with Bitcoin, there's always a lot of news, right? Like right now, Bitcoin is getting stronger. I did say that. There's a lot to look forward to in 2024, the quadfecta, okay? And you got ex-BlackRock director saying the SEC for sure will approve a spot Bitcoin ETF in the next 3 to 6 months. He believes that it's probably going to be Grayscale's trust being converted to Bitcoin spot ETF. But who knows? It could be BlackRock's own application. It could be a dozen of applications out there. There's a lot of applications out there, including Ethereum ones too. Now, most of these got pushed until January, but there are still a few waiting to be decided this month and then also in November. But most of them got pushed to January, right? So will it happen this month? I think it's a little bit too early, but the SEC has been taking a lot of L's, a lot of losses recently. So maybe they're just going to say, whatever, give the market what they want, some spot Bitcoin ETFs that will definitely drive Bitcoin upwards. If not, we just have to wait a little bit longer. That's all. Just a little bit longer, right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's definitely worth waiting, okay? I mean, there's just so much happening in the space and so many indicators and signals and metrics that show that Bitcoin is strong as ever. And it's only going to get stronger in the future, right? Here's an interesting one. This is looking at a chart, looking at this crossover, okay? This Gunnar EMA. Never heard of it. But the last 2 times we had a bullish crossover, Bitcoin went up 5,000%. And another time, 1,000%. And we're right there about to form a bull cross once again. This time around, probably not 1,000% gain, but even if we get like a 500% gain from our levels, that's pretty darn good. That's pushing over $200,000, right? So this is indicating that we are right at the cusp of that, right around the corner, right? This is another reason why we should be patient. Here's another one. Pi cycle top. Again, you have this crossover that's about to happen. Hasn't happened yet, right? And also this looks at how long Bitcoin, right? How long it takes before Bitcoin gets back to like a previous crossover. And, you know, the first time was like 664 days. Second time, 343 days. This time, 748 days. It's been a while. But it's bound to happen. And the next spot where it happens is right around 48,000, and that actually happens to be an important Fibonacci level too, right around 48,000. So is this a coincidence? I don't think so, right? So again, it's just a matter of time, having some patience. Now, as for fundamentals, the addresses continues to go up and up and up. Right now, 550,000 new addresses being created per day. Nearly all-time high in terms of number of addresses being added. That's how many people that are coming in, not 550,000, but a lot, are coming in because they're tired of the U.S. debt situation and all the shenanigans. And plus, maybe people are anticipating spot Bitcoin ETFs or the halving event or whatever, right? One thing is for certain, the holders, they are getting stronger. Over 50% Bitcoin supply has been holding for at least 5 years. And that number continues to go higher and higher. Just think about how amazing that is. That 50% of the entire supply have not moved in 5 years, going all the way back to 2017. That's how strong the holders are. Their conviction, their faith in Bitcoin is unwavering at this point. Nothing is going to get the long-term holders to sell their Bitcoin, right? That's just fact. That's reality, right? So this number will continue to go up, and scarcity will play into it, right? There'll be less and less Bitcoin, and there'll be more and more demand. And then what happens with price? Eventually just skyrockets and goes to the moon, right? That's what's happening. That's what's happening, and more of it will happen, and more countries will also adopt Bitcoin because they're suffering from high hyperinflation, right? Look at Venezuela, 400% year-to-year inflation. Lebanon, 220%. Argentina, over 100%. And in other countries, anywhere from 30, 40, 50%, right? That sucks. That sucks. Imagine being one of those countries and you just see your money. Yeah, you got the same amount of money, but they're just becoming more and more worthless every single year. So what are you going to do? Buy some Bitcoin, right? So these are the target countries that will be adopting Bitcoin in the future. You're talking about hundreds of millions of citizens from these countries. They're all looking to come in, okay, as new retail investors and become holders, okay? And they will start accumulating as well. Again, that's why I've been saying, you will be rewarded. This is the time to be greedy, not fearful. Great things are coming in 2024, okay? And even better in 2025. So, all right. So, want to start out with that. What else is going on? Some Avalanche news. So, besides Bitcoin, got a lot of stuff going on in the space. Avalanche introducing a next-generation database built for high-throughput blockchains called Firewood. Okay, so haven't heard much about databases, but yeah, so this is optimized for storing Merkleized blockchain state from scratch in Rust. Okay, why is this important? Why do you need a next-generation database for high-throughput blockchains? You know why? Because Avalanche happens to be a high-throughput blockchain that's about to get more throughput. Right now, I think it handled like 3,000 or 4,000 transactions per second, but they already tested this next upgrade, which will push them to over 140,000 transactions per second, right? So when you have very high throughput, you need high throughput database. I guess I'm not a developer, so I'm putting two and two together. But regardless, right now, Avalanche is doing well. They're adding more dApps. They're adding more side chains, right? And I didn't know this, but Friend Tech has a new copycat competitor called Stars Arena that is on Avalanche and going up like crazy right now. Transactions are surging. We know that Friend.tech is one of the most popular social apps out there, built on Coinbase's base chain, right? But now we have competition in other chains as well, and you could see just one-day change, 666%. That's a lot. That's a lot. And also, this is helping Avalanche burn. Avalanche does have burning mechanism. So again, more usage, more volume, the more AVAX that's burned. So I am a big fan of Avalanche. And lastly, I saw this. Obviously the FTX trial has started. First few days kind of boring, jury selection, people drawing like, SBF's new haircut and his demeanor and stuff, right? But this is interesting. The Alameda Research sent about $4.1 billion worth of FTT tokens to FTX right before the crash. What were they planning? Were they trying to sell it, hide it? We don't know. But I'm sure as this trial goes on, more and more details will be coming out. All right. I want to buy into your Stars Arena. I barely got on Friend.tech. I'm not using it. I don't know how to use it effectively, so I'm not going to join another one. Right? All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let's see here. Let's see what I missed. Scrolling up here. Cass and Wei, stop spreading rumors. BitBoy's not go guest host here. But I am talking to him. I have this really good idea. It's not just with Ben, but just with others in this space. I onboarded Crypto Jeb. He's going to be producing videos, hopefully in a couple weeks. Josh is still killing it for CRU Plus. Talking to a few others, but I got this really killer idea that I hope to solidify. It's going to change the landscape. It's going to change the landscape of crypto entertainment. It's going to be awesome. So I'm hoping to get that going. All right. Saw you in WAGME Wednesday. Yep, I did pop in. Heard what the guys are planning, right? Scott, very, very, very bullish on WAGME games. Scott's a nice guy. All right. Let's see here. Michael Blast. Let's pretend the U.S. is not in 33 trillion in debt. Yeah, let's pretend. That's the best way to do it. Just pretend like it doesn't exist. It's okay. It's okay. George on helium for life. Okay. Let's refresh that. Up to 1.09 trillion. Solana having a decent day. XRP had a good day yesterday. Wow, Solana's up 21% for this week. You know what? Today's DCA day. I totally forgot today's DCA day. Let me answer this. Ed, there's microeconomic factors that are increasing debt. Also aid to Ukraine. Yes, Ukraine is definitely adding to it. Let me log into my portfolio here. It should be better than last week. Should be a gain versus last week here. All right, so here it is. 24 hours up. Let's see 1 week. 1 week up almost 5%. That's pretty good. We had a pretty good week so far. All right, so what to DCA today? I forgot what I did last week, but I just got done talking about Avalanche. And then I talked about Cosmos this morning. I'm a big fan of both of these. You know what? I'm just going to go with these two. Yeah, maybe I add a little Solana too. Yeah, I'll go with Cosmos, Avalanche, and Solana. I like all three. So let's just add all three. All right, let's do $33. All righty. And then Avalanche, let's add $33. Well, I have to add a little Solana too, since they're up and coming. All right. Alrighty. Solana, Avalanche, and Cosmos. We'll see. We'll see what next week brings. Could be a really good. Remember, we're in Uptober. Uptober right now. Right? So this could be a very, very, very good month. Could we get a fresh price prediction for Polygon? So here's the easiest thing. It's too hard to predict tops at this point. But just look at where the top was before. Where was Polygon's top? All-time top. So right around here, about 271. Okay. That's what? That's like a 30x. Can Polygon get back up there? I would say yes. But just think about it. It has to go up 30x just to get back to the previous high. That's pretty darn good already, right? So I would say at least that. I don't know if it could pass that or go up much higher, but 30x to get back to previous high, that could happen. Chad is asking, if you own one Bitcoin, do you need to put in cold wallet or leave it on exchange? I mean, of course, it's safer to leave it on your own wallet rather than exchange, right? But there's a lot of legit exchanges out there. I mean, yeah, so it's more safe to believe in your wallet versus exchange, right? So it's willing. If you're willing to take that risk. If you want to trade a lot, then I guess you can leave it on exchanges. But if you're just go buy and hold, then put on your own wallet. It's no longer called Elron. It's called Multiverse X to 1,000. I don't know. Considering that you don't even know the new name is a little concerning. So to 1,000? No, probably not. Not this cycle. Maybe, but I don't think so. That's a lot of X's right there. That's like 50X. After one BTC, do you continue to buy more? I do have other coins from last year's position. I mean, it's up to you, man. 50, 25, 25 was what I recommend to newcomers. 50% in portfolio in Bitcoin, 25% in big caps, 25% is mid to small caps, right? And on top of that, you need to have cash on the side. But if you feel like, I don't know, if you feel like you don't have enough, Bitcoin, add more Bitcoin. If you don't have enough big caps, add more big caps. Silver something. You missed my super chat. What? Not a coincidence of pro-crypto Republicans are putting themselves in a higher position of power right before SBF trial starts. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Yes. Johnny, I still remember. You still have the picture of the E46. Family and I have shared a single car since and looking into Model 3. Thoughts? I would definitely wait until the new Model 3 comes out because it's already out in Europe and China, not in the US. You definitely should you should wait. You should wait. In my honest opinion, though, if it's a family car, get a Y. There's only like a few $1,000 difference, and a Y is so much better. So much more practical, easier to get in and out, it's bigger, more leg room, more cargo room. Nearly as fast, nearly the same range. So I would highly suggest going with a Model Y instead of a 3. Good day, I already answered your super chat, my man. It's not going to go to 1,000. Not this cycle, at least. Steak or seafood? You know, recently I've been getting sick of steak. So I think I'd rather eat seafood. I like crab, you know, king crab. I like lobster. I don't know. I'm getting sick of steak for some reason. Here's an interesting innuendo question. Say you've been eating steak your whole life, and one day you decided that you're sick of steak and you want some seafood, but you're not allowed to have it. So what do you do then? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys get that, but yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. All right. What else is there? Mark, now that you're advisor of DFK, did you pick up a bag of jewel, crystal, or jade? What's the best way to get these tokens to USD? You have to get it within, the game right now, right? And no, I did not. I don't own any of them right now. Honestly, I'm waiting because when Mythic Swap comes out, that's when you could easily get all those and more. I'm really excited about Mythic Swap. And I am excited about DFK, but I still have my doubts. But I know Dreamer and the team are working very, very hard indeed to try to, get it ready for the bull run and get more players back in. Yep. Shout out to Mario from Bolivia. Enjoy watching and learning from you, George. Are you shouting yourself out, or who's Mario from Bolivia? Yasleen. My grandfather ate a steak every day for 65 years. He died at 105. Wow. Living to 100 is tough. It's tough, but there's a lot of very active 90-year-olds, right? I think that's the key to life. Key to longevity is staying active. If you don't stay active and you're just sitting on your butt all day long, right? Your last 2 decades, 3 decades of your life are not going to be good. Woody, throw this steak in the ocean. My family owns a beef ranch, so I've been eating steak my whole life. Sitting on your butt will keep you out of jail. Well, I guess that's true, but you can still go out and be active without being in jail. Surf and turf is the way. Every time I watch Georgia get major FOMO. Not that I intend on causing FOMO, but I do have that effect on people. Favorite place to vacation? I've been to a lot of places, but I haven't been to a lot of places overseas yet. But in America, I would say San Diego is my favorite place. So it's just beautiful there. Beautiful weather, beautiful people, and it's just nice overall, right? I've not been to Hawaii yet, so I can't comment on Hawaii. I have been to Cancun and Aruba, a lot of the destination places in Mexico. But I would say in America, San Diego is my favorite place. I'm from San Diego. Finally got my C8. It's awesome fun. Congratulations. With the C8 in San Diego, you could drive that a whole year. See, that's what I'm jealous of. Where I am, you can't do that. We have like maybe like 6 months of good driving, and then the other 6 months are either too rainy or too snowy or too cold. And it just sucks, right? So if you're like in San Diego or anywhere West Coast or anywhere down south where it's nice weather all year round, it's just different. You know, you could do whatever you want. You could be outdoors every single day, and the people are much better for it, and they're much more beautiful, much more in shape, right? Like where I am, everyone's overweight. It's like, you know, it's totally different. Like depending on where you live. Seriously, it's like if you live in an area where you can be outdoors and be active 24/7, you're going to have more fit people, right? If you're in an area where it gets cold all the time and rainy all the time and whatever, right? It forces people to stay inside and get lazy and to get fat and get overweight. That's just how it is. Yeah. I feel like I'm complaining a lot during this stream here. Jose, appreciate you sharing that. Does Tesla's battery run long time in cold weather? It's about the same until you turn on the heat. And then it starts going down a lot. Actually, it's not the same. I take it back. It's not really the same. If it says 300 and you're driving in like 0-degree weather, it's more like 200. It starts dropping really fast. An aged steak is complex and delicious. Aged seafood is tough and dry. Think about that. But why do you have to go with aged seafood? What if you went with new, young, delicious seafood? Then it'll be a different story. Jesse, yesterday you said you were blowing money because you're going through a midlife crisis. I don't believe that, George. You deserve to drop bans in Vegas. You have come a long way. You don't believe that I deserve to drop bans? What does that mean? So you're saying I shouldn't be spending money. I guess that's true. I mean, honestly, with what I spent in Miami, I could have bought another Bitcoin with it, right? But, you know, you got to live a little sometimes, right? If you save all that money and you never spend it and you're just passing it on, I guess that's okay, but then you never really lived also, right? So if you have the ability to, you know, live a little, as long as you don't get in trouble. Yeah, within reason, right? I mean, that's part of life. You got to live a little. Otherwise, making all this money, making, you know, all this time for yourself, what's the point? All right. Yes, I did DCA already. I did Solana, Avalanche, and Cosmos today. Split it 3 ways. What did the wife say about spending all that money? She was saying it's such a big waste of money. The biggest waste of money she can imagine. Because right now we're spending a lot of money in the new house. It's like that could have been used to buy a shitload of stuff, like furniture or new blinds or whatever, you know. Nothing means California weather and coastal area, but high taxes, crime, homelessness, right? But isn't that just like San Francisco? You know, I know Los Angeles is getting worse too, but I don't hear bad things about San Diego yet. So I don't know. You tell me. But I hear San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Jose, they're getting bad. I haven't heard much about Sacramento or San Diego. Bobby, yes, I did. Well, mostly because I like this. I'm used to this area. I still do like this area. My kids go to school in this area, so it's hard to just like uplift to somewhere else. Although I can go, you know. I told my wife this. Once the kids are old enough, they go to college, they're not staying with us anymore. We could travel 365 days a year. We never have to go, you know, go back to the house. And we may do that for a couple of years after the kids are gone. But there's still, you know, some time before that happens. I will not travel to San Francisco anymore. Yeah, I just hear horrible things about San Francisco. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I visited San Francisco a couple times, like 10, 15 years ago. And I loved it. It's a beautiful city. I remember the highway, no traffic, goes straight into the city. Very nice, but I hear it is like the worst city to be in now. San Diego's more red. LA, San Fran is more mega blue, I guess. Yeah, is that true? I guess that's true. Sacramento's worse than San Francisco now. I hear Portland is also really bad. Like, what's going on with all the West Coast cities? Clay just said, come to Portland, we have no homeless. I heard the opposite. I heard Portland was horrible, too. La Jolla is awesome in San Diego. Like the cliff area, I love that area. You know, you could see all the seals and stuff. It's really nice. If everyone hates Gavin Newsom, then why is he like a leading presidential candidate? Like under Biden, who does the Democrats have? It's Newsom, right? So how can anyone vote for him when he like ruined California? That's why I want to know. I'm truly asking that because I don't know what good he has done. Anyways, I think that's about it. Yeah. Bitcoin, good, doing good. National debt, not so good. 275 billion added in a record day. Not a record we want to see. Not a record we ever want to see again. But I have a feeling we're going to break more records like this in the future, which is not good, which is why we need Bitcoin, right? Stay strong, my friends. Good days are coming. Could be right around the corner. Could be sooner than expected, okay? So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one, guys. Remember, stay with your steak. Take care.